Hi, and welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. And today is Sunday, February 11th, and this is my weekly update number 52. This is where I talk about everything I've worked on and completed throughout the week. Now, before I get into that, just a couple channel updates. Last week, I had asked if anybody would be interested in a quilt giveaway, and thanks everybody for responding, and I had quite a positive response to that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until I hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, because I really want to reach that, and then I'm going to give a quilt away. Also, I'm going to give a quilt away after my next trunk show, after I get 10 quilts done. Right now, I only have 3. So, and then we'll go from there. Maybe I'll give away more on the channel, maybe I won't. We'll just see how those two go. So, all right, so what did I work on this week? Well, I did quilt something on the long arm, and what I quilted, well, is this. This is the pattern. How Does Your Garden Grow from Crabapple Hill. And this is actually hand embroidered, and I will hang it up in a minute. But all of this is hand embroidered, as well as the stems over here, where that is all pieced. So let's hang it up, take a look at it. So here is a look at that quilt. Now I did quilt it with a petalism pantograph, so it has those flowers all over it. And then it just has those half square triangles as the border. We'll go in, take a little closer. Like I said, that is all hand embroidered. And this coloring right through here, that was done with crayons, which was a technique, a heat setting technique where you use a white crayon and then you color over your color and then you put a paper towel and you iron it down and it sets it in. But you do need that paper towel because that paper towel will help pick up that excess crayon so it doesn't get all over your iron. All right. Gone back farther. And the backing, this is the backing, and the backing is a Lori Holt line from Cookbook. And that's what I quilted this week. Now this is a smaller quilt. I was trying to see if I could find some measurements on it. It's 54 by 54. So I know just sitting here you can't see much of it. But that means for my 50 quilts I want to quilt this year, I'm up to 6. Now, what else? Well, I also finished 1 quilt top this year, or this week. So that means I've finished 5 quilt tops this year. Now, the quilt top I finished was actually from my series that I did, What Will I Make? And it was with the Wild Nectar Jelly Roll. And I did videos this week. There was 4 parts of it that I did on how I completed it. So, let's hang it up, take a look at it. And this is the quilt top I finished this week. I started it and finished it all this week. So this took a little bit of time. But like I said, I did do videos of me recording the whole process all the way through it. That's how I did it. And this is the Dream Weaver pattern from Missouri Star, where I just used their free video tutorial and did this. There it is. So, what else did I do? Well, of course I worked on more. Let's get it out and I'll show you. So I worked a little on this Creative Notion subscription box where I'm making this sewing machine cover and this ironing board here. Now I do like my wool pressing mat that I use for most of my pressing. However, I'm trying to get this done so I can put it over there by my sewing machine for just when I'm working on paper piecing, foundation paper piecing, so I have that extra surface. So, I've got my piping all sewn. Let's see. And this is the back. It's going to be the back of that sewing machine cover. Now I am putting that flex foam in between it to give it a little bit more body. So I have this all sandwiched, and I'm just going to quilt this on my domestic sewing machine. I'll probably just do a 1/4 inch away all the way down. So that's ready to go. Finish the back, and this right here is for the front, which I'm still piecing the the front of this together. And then I have this piece of foam, which is going to be for those sides all the way around. So here's where I am with the front. I'm still working on these units here. I got these pinned together. So it'll basically be like a 4-patch right now. To go, like I said, will be this. So I have all of those pieces right here. And this is the side piece to connect the front and the back. This big long piece all sewn together. And then this, I've pretty much got this all together. This is what's going to go over my board. I'm going to take my board, I'm going to put some Insul Bright and some batting, and then this will go over top of it. I'm just waiting for my husband to get that board cut for me. Oops. And so I made my casing and I ran my elastic through. I just have to sew that elastic back down and then sew that opening, and that cover, like I said, will be done. So I also worked on this other Creative Notions pattern here. So basically I have these rows all done, and now I've got the rows all pinned together for the center of this. Like I said, those rows are pinned together waiting to go to the sewing machine. That's what it's looking like. So I worked on that. And then I worked on some sew sampler projects. So I worked on this, the Ambiance Quilt. Let's see if I can find a better picture of it. There we go. So there's the quilt. So basically it's worked in 2 different rows with a little sashing strip right there. So I have the 2 rows all put together. Now these are pinned. The individual blocks are all put together, and then the blocks are pinned together. So we're working on that. So that's the first row. And this is the second row. All right. So I worked on that. And there's more. There's always more. I worked on this shooting stars pattern. So I've got these 4 patches kind of pinned. Got a bunch of those stacked there. And I have these units pinned together, pinned right there. Bunch of those. And I also have these units pinned together. My pins came out. So I have this side sewed on, this side pinned, and then after this is I have to do some like fussy cutting and cut that out a little bit better. So, but I worked on that. And I worked on 4 other quilt projects. Let's see here. So I worked on this pattern, Nightlight, from Villa Rosa Designs, and this is using dinosaur fabric. So I have all these rows pinned together. Ready to sew those rows down. Got them all together. And then I also worked on the Moncherie quilt pattern. And this is basically done in 3 rows. So I have all of those individual pieces into rows that are pinned. So I gotta sew those. Let's see. So there's the first row. Bring it back a little bit. Here is the second row. And the third row. Like I said, those are all still pinned. I have to finish sewing the actual row on all of them. So, worked on that. And then last night, I worked on these patterns. So, I worked on the Daydreams Quilt pattern. So let's see. I sewed what will basically be a bunch of 4 patches here. Now I still have to press and pin these for the next step, but those will be 4 patches. Because we're working on all these little units right here. You can see they got 4 patches in there down here. I already have all these units already done from before. And then I worked sewing all those half square triangles to another square. And there's a bunch of those sewn. As you can see, there's a bunch. Okay. Oh, one other. I almost overlooked it. down here in this bottom here, I worked on this pattern, which is boxed in. And this came from Polar Fabrics over in Indiana. And it was basically a 5 yard or 5 1-yard cuts, a bundle of fabric, and then you got a free pattern with it. So I did that, and here's where I am. So I got these blocks sewn together. So of course I have to press them out. And I will have something that looks like this for those blocks. Got my whole pile there. And then I have these sewn together. I just need to press them, which will be kind of the center. It comes down through here in that block. That red, blue, and yellow block, that's the center. And I got some more strip sets sewn together, which those strip sets will be cut apart. There you go. Just like that. That's what they look like. And they'll go on the sides of each of these blocks to form this red, blue, yellow block right there. So that is everything I worked on this week as far as sewing and quilting. But like I said, the majority of my time this week was spent on that. That took a little bit more time than what I was expecting. But that's okay. Got it done. Okay, so cross stitch. I have been working on this. It's 13-part series. Now, previously, finished the middle, this side, over this side. I'm working on this bottom row. So I finished this just last night, and now I literally just started on this. So I'll show you that in a minute. But this is what I finished last night. Life can only be understood backwards, but must be lived forwards. And then start on this. Today is a good day to have a good day. So here it goes. Let me show you. This is what we're looking like. It is getting there. Now, as you can see, that one block down there barely has a start on it. All right. And crochet. So I finished my cardigan. Now I'm not going to get up and model it because y'all won't see that. But it is done. And what I was working on, what this was the Gracie Slouchy cardigan. It is all done. Now it does have a couple problems. Number one, I don't like this neck. But that's okay. I can still wear it, keep me warm. Number two was something that's easily fixable, and that is these buttons. I was trying to use what I have, and they need to be bigger. They're too small. Let me see. I mean, they're way too small. They come right out. But, you know, use what you have, and I didn't want to go buy anything. So this is what it is. And I think I should have made it a little bit longer. But it's okay. It'll work for what I needed. So I'll take it off here. As I knock everything on the floor. Oh, that was just a pin. We're good. So that's my cardigan. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the neck. I mean, I do wish it was a little bit longer, which is my fault. I should have made it longer, but that's okay. And the buttons. I need to change the buttons. But it'll it'll still work. So I finished that. Now, I still have a lot of yarn left. So I don't want to just put it back. I want to use the rest of that yarn. So I have this. It's kind of unraveling. And I have 2 more skeins. So I started looking at making some amigurumi things, plush things. And I'm making a sea turtle. Of course, I was joking that it's an albino sea turtle because it's pink. So, you know, kind of look like a snake there. But there's the head. And the safety eyes I put on it. And then I got the little legs that I made. Because this is the chenille Lion Brand Yard Let's Get Cozy. So it's nice, soft, and fluffy. So, I'm going to try and make some amigurumi projects where I found some patterns online and use up the rest of the yarn. And I did start on a new diamond painting, but it's kind of in a place so I can't bring it out here to show you right now. So, I'll have to show you that next week. But I didn't get much of a start on it anyway. So, that's everything I worked on this week. Till next time.